Hello, I'm Joe Gray, and I will teach you how to give yourself a Gothic makeover. Instead of taking a picture, you can always find one on Google Images. I got a picture of Angelina Jolie for now. To start with, we will go for the eyes. Zoom in. And we're going to turn them white. So select the dodge tool, and put it on shadows, and then put the exposure on 100%, and get a reasonable sized brush to colour in the eye. And then just start going over the iris and through the whites. Don't whiten the white of the eye too much, because what tends to happen is it starts to look really unrealistic and it gets rid of all the shadows. You just want to brighten the whites up, but you want to completely get rid of the iris. So just keep colouring in. If you go out of the lines a little bit, don't worry, we'll neaten them up later. That's the first eye done. Since she's got part of her eye really small in the corner, I'll just colour in the white bits and I'll stop and I'll make the brush smaller so it can fit in between that gap. Then zoom out. And that's the eyes. Next we're going to work on the eyeliner and the mascara to make their eyes look a bit more darker. So select the burn tool and get midtones and exposure on 45%, and then colour over the eyelashes and underneath and above the eyelid. Once you've done that, just go in a bit just to also help get rid of most of that white you don't want. Goes out, and go for the other one. Next eye. Then we're going to go above the eye with it, so it helps make it look a bit more spooky. And don't be afraid to go down a bit more as well, because it just makes it look a bit more spooky. Next we're going to make her look a bit more pale. So select the sponge tool, and you want it on the mode desaturate and put the flow on 45%. Make the brush a bit smaller maybe. And just colour over the skin, it turns it a bit more grey. That's the skin sorted. Next, we're going to alter the levels. You can either press Ctrl and L, or just go into Enhance, Adjust Lighting and Levels. I'm using Adobe Photoshop Elements 7.0 by the way. So if you've got something another Adobe Photoshop or different Photoshop altogether, you still maybe I'd do all the things I'm doing now, maybe even more. But I've just got this one, so once you've adjusted them, maybe you could add a bit extra contrast. Adjust lighting, brightness, contrast. A lot of the time I go for diffuse glow, so get white and put that as the background colour because it uses that for some reason. and you click diffuse glow. And this just makes it look a bit more different. Just adjust it until you feel like you got it right and press OK. If you don't like it, just go off that. Okay, next you're going to go on Enhance and convert to black and white. And I usually choose Portraits because it leaves all the shadows and highlights in, but it just evolves it into black and white, and sometimes just brings out the highlights. Zoom in on the lips and select the burn tool. You're going to go for mid-tones and exposure on 45% and just colour in the lips. You may want to go over it twice just to give it a bit more of a realistic effect. And once you've finished that, zoom out. And there you have it, your Gothic picture of Angelina Jolie.